So this is what happened to my sister's acne once she started to listen to my advice and let me coach her basically. In this video, we're going to go over how to heal your acne once again. Okay, we're going to start off with stress. So stress can actually directly cause your sebocytes, which are the cells in your sebaceous glands. Stress can directly cause them to produce not very acne-friendly hormones, which can then in turn clog up your pores by creating inflammation. Not creating inflammation, but binding to receptors and producing excess sebum. The specific hormone is called CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone, which is what your sebocytes can actually directly produce. So it's not only that stress can make your brain release these hormones like cortisol, CRH, ACTH, and then that in turn affects your skin, your acne, makes you more prone to acne. No. It's that on top of the response your sebocytes get from the stress. So you're basically being attacked twice. At least this is what the science says. So yeah, not good. Stress. The reason I have it first in this video is because I've realized that it genuinely is something you have to really, really nail down if you want to get rid of your acne. Now, chronic stress can also cause your body to produce pro-inflammatory cytokines, which, of course, can aggravate or potentially cause acne, an inflammatory response, the redness, the pimple. So yeah, stress causes your brain to release hormones that are not acne friendly, that can either aggravate or cause acne. And stress can also make your cells do the same. So what can we do to avoid this? Well, simply by improving your health, you're likely going to decrease your stress. Why? Because, well, once your body begins to function more optimally, everything gets better. It's like a computer that's running faster is more efficient with specific tasks. Okay, that was a bad analogy, but you get the point. If you implement the advice that I give in my videos, you're going to become a lot healthier, and that in turn is going to decrease chronically high cortisol levels or chronic stress that you may be dealing with. So another thing we can do is to constantly be aware of our internal state. So what I mean by that is to just, like, let's say right now, I just have to feel my body internally and just like sense where I feel uneasy, because oftentimes when you're stressed, if you just stop for a moment and feel your body, you're going to note that the stress is actually located somewhere. Oftentimes in the gut, maybe it's a headache. And that's how you become aware of the stress. You feel that actual physical pain. And then you also just feel the way you're feeling emotionally, you observe that. So constantly become aware of the way you feel internally, your emotional state and your physical state. Locate that stress, become aware of it, and note that it's actually there. You're stressed. That way you become more aware of when you are basically more prone to acne because you're stressed, right? And you try to just breathe. Once you become aware that you're stressed, just breathe, come back to the present moment. And this brings me to my next point. We can manage our stress better by practicing stoicism. Okay, just start accepting things in life. You failed an exam, Instead of letting it stress you out, because of the fact that you don't want to worsen your acne, let it go. Okay? And of course, just like everything in life, this takes practice. Alrighty, next point, light. So, your light environment is crucial to human health. Right now, it is 7:23 p.m. where I am. The sun has set. I'm supposed to be in complete darkness right now, but because of the fact that I need to record this video, or I want to, I have a tiny lamp on and blue blockers to protect myself from any blue light. Because right now I am not supposed to be exposed to blue light, and that can very negatively affect my melatonin production and many other biological processes within my body at this given moment. So, there is a lot of data and research to suggest that your light environment is extremely important to human health. Once again, if we want to get rid of our acne, it is very important that we nail these things down that constitute our health. And I'm going to get into why right here. Blue light in isolation. So not blue light that comes from the sun, because the blue light that comes from the sun comes along with many other types of light, not just blue light. So I say blue light in isolation can cause excess sebum production by stimulating or by raising cortisol, which in turn raises your blood sugar, which in turn raises your insulin, which indirectly leads to greater IGF-1 levels in the body, and then that can bind to sebocyte receptors, and then that can trigger excess sebum production. And then also, by having elevated insulin, we can cause inflammation. And so there are two mechanisms right there in which blue light may be able to produce or create an may be able to cause excess sebum production. Okay. Another thing, blue light can create reactive oxygen species, which can actually aggravate our acne, worsen inflammation. And blue light can also cause inflammation. Blue light in isolation, of course. Okay, infrared light can help with healing and reduces inflammation. So we know what to avoid. Now another thing we want to include is infrared light. That's why you see many people, many health gurus, who buy these red lamps, these like red therapy devices, red light therapy devices, because those things actually stimulate tissue healing, mitochondrial ATP production. It's not just wishy-washy, woo-hoo science. No, or like, you know what I'm saying. It's actual science. So, and I know this is just like something that's so new to people, because people, yeah, I mean, your dermatologist isn't going to explain to you that you need to improve your light environment in order to get rid of your acne. So many people don't expect this, but I'm here to spread the message of the importance of these things. So yeah, if you want to speed up your healing, expose yourself to infrared light, maybe from the sun, by sunbathing during, actually we're going to get into that in just a second, but yeah, it reduces inflammation and helps you heal quicker. So that can be beneficial for acne. So what should we do? Try to expose yourself to natural sunlight all day. Full spectrum sunlight. From dusk till dawn. You don't have to be in direct sunlight. You can be in the shade. You can be in your room with a window open. Just have that window open all day. Avoid artificial blue light at all costs. That's why I have these blue blockers on, so that the photoreceptors in my eyes don't believe that it's daytime. And actually, I'm not even fully optimal right now, because I should be protecting my skin as well, since our skin and our fat have photoreceptors as well. But in any case, another thing we want to do is sunbathe directly. We can do infrared light therapy by sunbathing in low UV sunlight. Low UV direct sunlight, which would either be in the morning or in the evening when the UV is low. I do not recommend that you sunbathe your acne-filled face in high UV, because I'm going to be honest, I do believe that it may worsen scarring. Why? Because you see that little speck right there? Yeah, that used to be a scar. And I've been tanning, this was about a year ago or so, but I was tanning, and because of me tanning while this scar was healing, it's now dark forever. So because of personal experience, I do believe that you shouldn't expose your acne to very high UV. For now. Okay. Next point, diet. So we want to eat locally and seasonally. Eat whatever is in season and eat whatever is within your country, or whatever grew within your country. This is very important. This belongs to the story of light. Once again, food is light, right? Food stems from photosynthesis. That's where it all begins. Photosynthesis stems from light. Okay, so because of this and many other reasons that I don't believe I'm going to discuss here today, it's very important to eat locally and seasonally. Now, other than that, we want to eat a carnivore diet with seasonal fruits. Once again, or not once again, but if you're prone to acne, be careful with fruits, because they can be high in sugar and deuterium, which may be problematic, but you may still be able to tolerate them if you're in the sun. But for the most part, once again, locally and seasonally, I would keep fruits to a minimum. You can experiment with them, but I think that the easiest way to get rid of acne is just going pure carnivore. When it comes to dairy, if you're lactose intolerant, don't even think about it. Other than butter, you can do butter. If you're lactose tolerant, then it could be an option, but it might slow you down, even if it's raw. So why? Basically, why would we do this diet? Basically, the reason is because all other options are not optimal enough for health and for getting rid of acne. A carnivore diet consisting of lightly cooked to maybe raw, high quality animal products from healthy animals. Never eat any raw meat from an unhealthy animal, please. You need to be absolutely sure of the quality. But yeah, consuming these high quality animal products is the most anti-inflammatory diet and the healthiest, most conducive diet to human health. That really is the case. Vegetables, for the most part, I mean, people are going to tell you they're needed because of antioxidants and fiber and phytochemicals, phytonutrients or whatever. If we really get down to the nitty gritty, antioxidants, we can easily get them from grounding other things. You don't have to eat vegetables for them. Fiber, I mean, it's not an essential nutrient. There are studies literally suggesting that people benefit from no fiber diets. Once again, not a good enough reason to eat vegetables whatsoever. They can even digest into toxic aldehydes in the gut. And then, what was the other thing? Phytonutrients and phytochemicals. Once again, I'm going to be honest, I actually don't know a whole lot about that. Phytochemicals and phytonutrients, but just not a good enough reason to eat vegetables. The reason vegetables are so harmful is because of anti-nutrients. These things actually bind to nutrients within your gut. And then the fiber too. Fiber acts as an anti-nutrient. And then what these anti-nutrients do is they inhibit your body from being able to absorb other nutrients. Now, people are going to say that, well, it's not that big of an issue, but we're looking for what's most optimal here. And then how can this be problematic if we're dealing with acne? It's because vegetables could contribute to leaky gut because they're not the easiest to digest. And because of the fiber. So I wouldn't say that we can't eat vegetables. I would just say that we should be following a very carnivorous diet, if I'm being totally honest. Okay, and then, yeah, we don't want to eat anything high glycemic. That's going to spike our blood sugar, obviously. And what else should I cover? Grains, legumes, suboptimal. Grains, yeah, of course not. Beans, suboptimal. Yeah. Okay, I think that covers diet well enough. Moving on. Skincare. If you have oily skin, to combination, what the people like to call combination skin, which is extremely likely if you're dealing with acne, you want to use a gentle or a harsh cleanser once or twice a day. I wouldn't recommend that you use a harsh cleanser twice a day. And what I mean by harsh is not even harsh. I just mean something with a few more surfactant ingredients than maybe a gentler one. An extremely gentle cleanser, for example, can be honey, raw honey. So yeah, I would recommend that you either do this once or twice a day. Maybe if you've got pretty oily skin, twice a day could be a better option. Definitely don't do a harsh cleanser twice a day. Horrible idea. And then for hydration, for moisturization, you want to use a hydrating and barrier repairing moisturizer, which replaces everything you lost from the cleansing, and ideally with no irritating fragrances or endocrine disrupting ingredients, which are ingredients that are going to mess with your hormones. And then obviously it has to be non-comedogenic. It cannot clog your pores. You could also use just some non-comedogenic oil if you want. Maybe if your acne isn't that bad, something like jojoba oil, hemp seed oil, grape seed oil, or argan oil. Just a non-comedogenic single ingredient oil. Jesus Christ. All right. Now, if you've got dry skin, which is very likely not the case, you want to use a gentle cleanser. You cannot afford to use something harsh whatsoever. Don't even look for something that does deep cleansing. You don't even need to exfoliate your skin. Definitely, whatever you do, make sure that the cleanser you're using does not include sodium lauryl sulfate. That'll be really bad. And then you want to do this either once or twice a day, cleansing. Now, after you cleanse, you follow up with a very hydrating and barrier repairing moisturizer that provides your skin with plenty of emollients, lipids, hydration ingredients that are also going to act as humectants, basically hold in the the moisture, the water. So that would be ingredients like dimethicone, glycerin, and then once again, make sure it's non-comedogenic, ideally no irritating fragrances or endocrine disrupting chemicals. Okay, so finally we're going to cover miscellaneous things that are actually still really important. This one is crucial, actually. Grounding. Grounding is basically touching with your bare skin the earth. So the soil, a tree, something that is electrically grounded to the earth. This provides you with antioxidants directly. This has been shown to greatly reduce inflammation in the body and is one of the most if not the most underrated health practice known to man. Okay, daily movement is also very important. Proper hydration. I've actually got some electrolytes right here. Very important. Excuse me. Very important to be properly hydrated as well if you want your skin to look nice. And to do this, you can either follow, what you should do is you should follow the diet that I explained. Maybe eat an avocado here and there. Fruits if you can tolerate them. Drink plenty of spring water, ideally. And you can even maybe supplement with electrolytes. Make sure that it doesn't have any added sugar though, of course. And then lastly, we want to avoid modern day pollution. Okay? Pretty self-explanatory. Many toxins in our environment nowadays, like plastics, estrogenic ingredients, heavy metals, weird chemicals and detergents. None of that is good for us and could potentially indirectly aggravate our acne. So yeah. Okay, this was a pretty long ass video. But in any case, finally, if you need more help and you're interested, go ahead and check out my one-on-one coaching and my guide to get rid of acne. It's literally got everything I know while making it, but it's gonna have everything I know when it comes to getting rid of acne and becoming as healthy as possible. Okay, you're not just gonna be prescribed something, you are going to change your life, prevent disease in the future, and finally clear your skin. You're gonna learn everything you need to know to clear your skin. And then the links are in the description. So yeah. Thank you for watching this 20-minute video. Jesus, longer than I expected. Peace.